The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 12th day of February 2026. Just a gentle reminder that Amazon is your friend for this Valentine's Day. If you haven't gotten your stuff by now, I suggest you at least start to think about it. We got ourselves a good one today. The New York Yankees and the Texas Rangers in the Bronx. It'll be the Rangers are 10-10, and they will go with Bobby Witt. The Yankees are going to go with Bob Tewksbury, who is 4-0, I believe, when I looked a moment ago. The Yankees are in that, well, they're both in the race for first place in their respective divisions, and if you remember the history of this channel, this would be a rematch of the 1978 American League Championship Series, which the Rangers won. Rangers, I think, will be in contention all year. And the Yankees in real life finish in second behind the morally superior Boston Red Sox. So that's the setup for you to close out the week. It is the Rangers and the Yankees next on Retro Sports Network. How you doing, Barb? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1986. Today, from the big old ballpark in the Bronx, it is the New York Yankees and the Texas Rangers. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find Dave and Friends today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. It will be the aforementioned Bob Tewksbury on the hill for New York. Bob making his fifth start of the year. He does have one complete game. He's 25 years old. As we said, 4-0. He should have a better record than 9-5 in real life. With an earned run average of 408. Yeah, I am good. Tewksbury, third in the American League. It wins with 4. All starts, his last start, this is the games of May 3rd. It's Kentucky Derby Day on the channel. It'll be, his last start was April 27th, a 12-8 slobber knocker against the Indians. He's picked up the win in all 4 decisions. 6 in the third, 111 pitches, 10 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. 28 and 2/3, 31 hits for Tewksbury, 15 runs, 13 earned. He has walked 7. Which is interesting, because isn't he the one that broke Strat's 50-50 system because he threw so few walks? And struck out 8. The lineup for the Rangers, how you doing, Steve? Odeby McDowell leads off in center field. Scott Fletcher, no relation to Jessica, is at second and will bat second. Pete O'Brien at first will go third. Darrell Porter behind the plate cleans up. Gary Ward in left will go fifth. Larry Parrish is your DH. He'll bat 6th. George Wright in right. Isn't English wonderful? Will bat 7th. Gino Petralli, the knuckleball catcher, is at third, batting 8th. And Curtis Wilkerson at short goes 9th. Tewksbury can get you about 6 innings on a good day. 100 pitches. Todd, no game tomorrow. No, we don't normally do Fridays anyway. And Mondays will be a prime time affair because I've got an appointment. And the Cats got the appointment Tuesday. Defensively for the Yankees, Ken Griffey a 5 and a 5 in left. Ricky Henderson a 9 and a 3 in center. Dave Winfield a 9 and an 8 in right. That Monday game will be Toronto and California, by the way. Mike Pagliarulo was a 5 at third. Bobby Meacham, absent for picture day, a 5 and a 6 at short. Willie Randolph a 7 and a 9 at second. I was going to say the ageless one, but he's only 31 in 86. I thought he was older than that. Don Mattingly at 10 at first. Ron Hassey behind the plate. He's a 4 and a 4. And Tewksbury is 7 on the mound with a 973 fielding percentage. Good morning from Wisconsin. Scotty and Dave Little. Odeby McDowell at 303. 2 homers and 12 RBI. 67 degrees in New York. It's a day game. And it's a light rain, the wind blowing out to left field at 11 as we get set Tewksbury deals. McDowell punches this one into right center for a base hit. Throw to second, and McDowell is in there with his 4th double. Scotty, how'd your pot roast come out? Scott Fletcher at 415. 3 triples. Goodness gracious. A homer and 12 RBI. Fletcher bunts one down. Tewksbury throws to first to Randolph covering, and there's one out for Pete O'Brien with a 14-game hitting streak. Pete at 293. 4 homers and 10 RBI. Rangers are 10-10. This is game 21 for them. The Yankees 13-9. This is game 23 for them. And O'Brien draws the walk. Barb, great minds think alike. One out for Darrell Porter. Porter at 300. A home run and 2 RBI. Is this the New York Rangers? No. Afternoon, P-Jet, how are you? So runners on the corners. 1 out. Porter rips this one to right, but right at Winfield, and they try to get O'Brien leading off at first, and Pete's back. The big news was McDowell couldn't go. So 2 on, 2 out for Gary Ward at 379, no homers and 5 RBI. We know who John's rooting for. Oh, to be young again, McDowell, yeah. Is it wrong to ask the missus for more games for Valentine's Day? No. If you've been married as long as I have, Todd, she probably would appreciate it. Get out of my hair? Yes. Yes. Let's go, lawmen. Let's go, lawnmen. Ward. Ground ball to third. Paliarulo's got it. Long throw to Mattingly. Ward's fast, but not that fast, and they strand 2. So the Rangers get a hit, and that's it. After half an inning, no score. Bobby Witt, who I actually saw pitch at Fenway Park, is 22 years old. He is a fastball pitcher at 94 and a flyball plus pitcher. He is 2-1 on the replay so far with a 4.43 ERA. And much like Floyd Yeoman's last night, Bobby Witt is going to be a weeble-wobble pitcher. He just can't find the strike zone to save his life. In real life, he walked 143 and struck out 174. He's from Massachusetts. He took a loss his last time out 5 days ago on the 27th against the Brew Crew, an 8-6 loss, 3 2/3, 85 pitches, 5 hits, 7 runs. That's a Christmas tree, all earned. 2 homers. He walked 5 and struck out 5. 20 1/3 for Witt. 11 hits, 10 runs, all earned, 2 homers. He's walked 17 and struck out 20. Oh, thanks. That was fun to do. Old minds think alike. How you doing there, Mr. Dill? Here's the Yankee lineup. Ricky Henderson leads off in center field. Willie Randolph at second will bat second. Don Mattingly at first will go third. Mike Easler over from the Red Sox. That wasn't a trade for Don Baylor, was it? He's the DH. He'll clean up. Dave Winfield in right will bat fifth. Ken Griffey in left goes sixth. Ron Hassey behind the plate batting seventh. Mike Paliarulo at third goes eighth. Bobby Meacham at short batting ninth. And Bobby Witt. This could be interesting. He's rated for 100 pitches. You just never know. Is it 5? Is it 7? How many is he walking? The world will never know. Gino Petrali's at third. What the hell was Bobby Valentine smoking? He is a 0 at third. Curtis Wilkerson a 5 and a 7 at short. Scott Fletcher is a 3 and a 7 at second. Pete O'Brien an 8 at first. The outfield, Gary Ward an 8 and a 7 in left. O.B. McDowell a 7 and a 3 in center. And George Wright a 5 and a 5 in right. Darrell Porter a 5 and a 2 behind the plate. Witt is an 8 on the mound with a .903 fielding percentage. Yep, P-Jet. Witt led the league in walks, and Incaviglia, who's not in the lineup today, led the league in strikeouts. Yep, these Ranger teams are fun. He's been following Mike Silva's Big Bash on the Facebook groups in OOTP. The 78 ones advanced to the final 32. Ricky Henderson at 272. 5 homers and 13 RBI. But Ricky really should just be a statue here and let Witt throw a ton of pitches. Struck him out. 2-2, and Witt got him looking. 1 out for Willie Randolph at 256. No homers and 5 RBI. I would hope that the Ranger fan would root for the Rangers. Back in the day, the Columbus Clippers were the Yankees farm team. Yep, they were, Dave. Lots of familiar names from that era. Bobby Meacham, Mike Pagliarulo, even Mattingly. They were one of the rare AAA parks, too, to play on AstroTurf. Randolph walks, which is interesting because the big club has never played on AstroTurf at home. Mattingly is hitting .458 with 6 homers and 27 RBI and has a 10-game hitting streak. Witt throws to first. Randolph is back. Yeah, Darryl Porter at the end of his career. Yep, with Rangers. Mattingly rips this one to first. O'Brien goes to Wilkerson for 1. Back to Pete, and that's a 3-6-3 double play. So Witt, 16 pitches, but gets out of the first. No runs, no hits. The Yankees don't leave anybody on, and after 1, no score. So Parrish, Wright, and the third baseman, Petralli. Wow. Larry at 312. 6 homers and 13 RBI. The Columbus Clippers, ring your bell. Yeah, Porter had some inner demons for sure. Tewksbury starts the second. Ground ball to Meacham. Over to Mattingly. And that's an error. Parrish is going to reach. Meacham's had 8 errors already at third, or short. And that one hits Keith Olbermann's mom. And so Parrish goes to second. Good thing she wears New York Rangers hockey gear now. So here's George Wright at 154, a homer and 3 RBI. Oh, you saw AAA All-Star game there. So did they share that? I mean, what was the reason for that having artificial surface? Wright, ground ball to Meacham. Bobby should atone for this, and quick throw, and Wright is out. So 1 away for Petralli, who's 0 for 7 on the replay. You marched on the Franklin County Stadium with the high school band, Dave Little says. It was basically concrete with a rug over it. I couldn't imagine playing football. No. But all of those cookie-cutter stadiums were concrete bowls with bad toupees on them. Petralli strikes out. We're still waiting to see how Scotty's pot roast came out. 2 out for Wilkerson. So the first strikeout for Tewksbury. Curtis at 341. No homers, 3 doubles, and 2 RBI. Could always tell once we got late in the football season how long the turf had been there, because the sliding pits would be covered and they never matched the same color. And so it really was a childhood introduction to the curtains not matching the drapes. Wilkerson strikes out. So Tewksbury gets out of it, and 0-2 curveball got him swinging, and that'll do. So the Rangers have left on 3. No runs, no hits. And I thought there was an error. Maybe not. After an inning and a half, no score. Valentine had to inform Petralli that they were only going to carry 2 catchers out of spring training. John says, despite Petralli tearing it up, he decided to carry Gino as long as he was willing to play the other positions. Must not have played a lot of third. Of course, they gave up playing football and joined the marching band when the weightlifting became a requirement. Yes, but it helped with your wrestling expertise, right? Not sure why that turf stadium was built in 1931 and had similar dimensions to Yankee Stadium. I know at one point, Mike Easler, by the way, at 313, a home run and 3 RBI. The Yankees toyed with the idea of moving out to the swamp in the Meadowlands, because the Giants were going to go out there, and that stadium was opened in 76 and the city agreed to the refurb of Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees stayed in the Bronx. Pitch to Easler, ground ball to Fletcher. Scott has it over to O'Brien for the out. Dave Winfield at 3:02, 4 homers and 17 RBI. Came out a little smoky. How is that? Did you smoke? You have a smoker before you roasted? Winfield draws the walk, as Witt will do. So 1 on, 1 out, a full count, and that was a cutter high and away. And Winfield's on for Ken Griffey. Ken at 220, only would play limited duty for the Yankees in '86. 3 homers and 10 RBI. Griffey rips this one in the opposite way into left center. Winfield didn't even come close to stopping at second. That must have been a hit and run. And his runners on the corners, 1 out for Ron Hassey, hitting .311, 2 homers, and 9 RBI. So the Yankees threatening here in the bottom of the second. First hit for New York. Right field, well hit. Back goes right. George to the wall, makes the catch. That should easily score Winfield. They wave him home. The throw goes into second base, and the Yankees are up 1-0. 2 out for Pagliarulo. Pags at 233. A home run. He did 28 in '86. And driving in 4. And he'll draw the walk. And you can see the problem with Bobby Witt is that control was not just a Janet Jackson problem in '86. Bobby Meacham at 175 and 7 RBI. He does have a double. So first and second, 2 out. Witt deals. Popped up Porter. A lot of room here to the screen, and Darrell will make the great catch to retire the side. So the Yankees do get the first run of the ball game on a hit and no errors. They've left on 2, and after 2 here, 1-0 New York. Turf was installed in the 50s. Cooper Stadium's transition to turf was influenced by the need for a more cost-effective and maintenance-free alternative to natural grass. I'm assuming they played football there. Of the high school variety, or is there a big college? Let me rephrase that because I realize the answer. Obviously, Ohio State didn't play there. So was there a JUCO or lots of high school teams that played football there? Because we know that Ohio State played at the Horseshoe. O.B. McDowell doubled his first time up. Tewksbury opening 9, 36 pitches, 2 innings. A hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Yeah, his son's Bobby Witt's son's pretty good with the Royals, isn't he? What a talent indeed. Struck him out. That's 3 for Tewksbury. A 2-2 fastball, and McDowell chased it. 1 out for Fletcher, who walked his first time up. It's always interesting, and I'm sure it happens with every generation, where the children of stars become stars or well-known names in their own right. But nothing shocked me more than finding out that Don Mattingly's kid is the GM of the Phillies. I don't think Nick Castellanos is on the top of his Christmas card list this year, but oh well. Fletcher swings. That's in the left center field. That'll drop in front of Ricky. John, if you're still here, what is the reason for them bailing on Castellanos? Pete O'Brien walked his first time up. Scotty's local minor league team is all turf. Even the sliding cutouts are just brown turf. Really? I've seen those places, especially in college, and no, I would think that would hurt a lot. I know that they're trying to get as closer to quote-unquote real grass as you can with those. But I agree with Richie Allen and Tug McGraw, although I don't smoke it. But if I had the option, I don't want to play anything that you guys wouldn't smoke. So Fletcher on first. O'Brien at the plate. Pete hits this one into right center. Back goes Henderson, a long run. Ricky makes the catch. And Fletcher has to go back. Those who can't become GMs? So Henderson, a great play out there in right center. 2 out for Porter, who's 0 for 1. Hey, whatever makes you money, I suppose. Worked for Theo Epstein. Man, I wonder if he gets in the Hall of Fame. GM of 2 legendary franchises who ended long, long droughts. Pitch to Porter. Throw down to second, and Fletcher's thrown out trying to steal. So the Rangers run themselves out of the inning. Good throw down there. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Bottom 3 here in New York. Yankees 1, Rangers nothing. The Columbus High School City League Championship game was played at Franklin County Stadium. That's how I was able to march there. It was just 1 game. I'm sure it is. It's always interesting to hear what is big in other parts of the country. Ricky Henderson, by the way, struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Witt, 45 pitches, 2 innings. The run is earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 1. When I was in high school 40 years ago, high school football was reasonable size. I would have said it was the biggest of the sports in Vermont. And now it's just an afterthought. Henderson grounds this one into right field. Wright will throw it back in, and Ricky has himself a single. So we'll wait for the throw over. Willie Randolph walked his first time up. Witt throws over to first. Henderson does not leave the bag too much, which is what Tim Raines did last night. I had something in this game I never had before last night. What in the world was Richie, don't call me Richie, talking about? I'm sure artificial turf. You can't smoke it. Well, if you could, but it would be nasty. Runner goes to throw down to Fletcher, and Ricky has his 9th steal. Dave Little says, my high school was the perennial second-place finisher in the City League East Division. Our rival high school was the home of the Griffin family. Oh, Archie. The only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. And his brothers. C.J. Cephas has dropped the periods from his name and is now the kind of stuff that the Guardians fan lives for. Please go out and buy more of his jerseys. Adalis Garcia, their hope is that he can be the definitive right fielder or defensive right fielder he was last year and at least hit as well as... Castellanos, okay. I was joking last night that he and Tom Brenneman should do a podcast together. Pitched to Randolph, walked him. So good speed on the bases for the Yankees. Henderson goes to third. A 3-0 pitch was a wild pitch. I'd think about the double steal here, but you got Mattingly at the plate. And they have a couple top prospects the Phillies do that are projected to be ready by midseason. No roster space, and I think, how close are they to the luxury tax? So Mattingly will swing here. Henderson on third. Randolph on first. Nobody out. Bottom the third. New York up 1-0. Struck him out. Witt got him. Now for Easler, who's 0 for 1. And he draws the walk, so the bases are now loaded. Witt has walked 5 and struck out 2 for Dave Winfield, who's walked in this one. So Henderson on third. Randolph should score on a single. And Easler, happy to be out of Boston. Struck him out. Wow, talking about bearing down a full count fastball. And Winfield stood there like a Shake Shack on the side of the road. 2 out for Ken Griffey, who singled his first time up. Witt deals, and it's a bases-loaded walk. So Henderson will score. It's 2-0 New York. Randolph, Easler, and Griffey now for Ron Hassey, who walked. So Bobby Witt Again, this isn't the Weeble Wobble performance of last night. Curtis Light Garcia, great enthusiasm, above average defense, cannon of an arm. Unfortunately, can't stop himself from swinging for the fences, so way too many strikeouts and way too few walks. If he gets hot, he can carry a team. Wasn't he your World Series hero? Hassey walks again. So Randolph will score. Witt has walked 7. And in the stands in this light rainy day, Oprah Winfrey taking notes. You get a walk, you get a walk, you get a walk. It's 3-0 Yankees. 2 out for Pagliarulo, who walked his first time up. Porter reminds Witt that strikes are good. And he strikes out his 4th. Yankees leave him loaded. 2 runs, 2 bases loaded walks, a hit, no errors. We go to the 4th, 3-0 New York. And yep. Oh, he was, but in overall offensive liability. Sounds like Rob Deere. So the good news, if you're a Ranger fan, is it's not out of reach, but Bobby Witt has thrown 90 pitches through 3 innings. Everhat says, baseball would be this time of year, puts you in the mind for spring. Darryl Porter is 0 for 1. Tewksbury popped him up Mattingly by the Yankee dugout at first, and that will be caught by someone from Tarrytown, New York. 2-2 count to Porter, and he lost him and drove the walk. A Bill Stoneman type performance by Witt. Yeah. Gary Ward 0 for 1. Oh, I was going to say speaking of last night's game, the first time I've ever seen a runner, the computer kept trying to steal a Billy Doran of the Astros last night. And the computer, with 2 different catchers, threw him out 3 times. Ward, they were going to try and steal Darryl Porter. Okay, ball 1, outside. Witt on a pace for 270 pitches. He's not staying here much longer. Up the middle should be 2. Randolph for 1, and Ward just kind of ran to first. A good slide by Porter on this murky field. 1 out for Parrish, who's 0 for 1. We'd be here for another week if he threw 270 pitches. Fly ball, left field. Griffey has a long run and will make the catch in the alley. 2 out. Remember, Toronto, California, Monday, but that's a night game, and the other 2 streams should be day games. So Monday night, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoon. George Wright, 0 for 1. That is ripped to center field. Ricky can't get it. He dove for it, couldn't get it. Wright will take 2. Wright's going for 3. That skip past Henderson, and Wright will score. Or Ward will score. $150 would be a lot in this game. So here's Petrali. Gino only played 2 games at... Oh, no, I don't know what he played at third. He's already played 2 games at third. I wonder... So it must be they stuck him at third. So right on third, following the triple. 3-1, 2 out. Top 4. High ground ball to Randolph, and that'll do. So the Rangers get on the board, and after 3.5, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. It's the Yankees 3, the Rangers 1. Jeremiah. Some quality programming around here. I thought of you a few times when I saw that the lead singer from 3 Dog Night passed away. So the standings, Houston and San Diego, are tied in the National League West. The Mets are finally in first place by themselves, and I think that's as close as Montreal's going to get the rest of the way by a 1.5 games. Oakland, a 1.5 games up on Kansas City, but the Royals have 3 games in hand. California 2 back. Toronto 1 up on the Tigers, and the Yankees 2 up on Cleveland. And Bob Stanley's 1 of 3. Yeah, he still was rather young too, wasn't he? Bobby Meacham 0 for 1. Poor Bubbles doesn't know what to do, Steve. Pitch to Meacham, struck him out, 5 for Witt. Ryan Duran will be watching this going, I can relate. Ricky Henderson 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. 95 pitches, 18 batters for Witt. 3 1/3. All 3 runs are earned. Just 2 hits, that's the good news. But he has walked 7 and struck out 5. Regarding Garcia, he's an offensive spinning machine, as is Castellanos. Good thing you'll not be expected to carry the team. If he hits 25 dingers and 90 RBI and played above average D, John's happy with that. I imagine the Phillies are a playoff team contender this year. Pitch to Henderson. There's a fly ball left field. Or nope, shortstop Wilkerson dodges and drops 2 out for Randolph, who has walked twice. Castellanos a fan favorite, but they like winning more. Yep. You got to take advantage of that window for sure. There is a ground ball to third. This should be an adventure and a half, and Petrali botches it. It's his first error. And Randolph is on. Witt looks over, but Bobby has not been his own best friend today. Don Mattingly is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Witt deals. Popped up. Right side. O'Brien, foul territory, first base side, and he will. Oops, I lost my mother monitor here. Hold on. Something happened. Something happened. I don't know what it was. I got to hold on one moment. Talk amongst yourselves. Stupid computers. I don't know if my HDMI popped out or what. There we go. All right, Wilkerson's at the plate. He's 0 for 1. No Olympic curling at the moment. So you'll pop in. How you doing in sport? Men's hockey started last night, I think. Tewksbury starts the 5th. Up 3-1. Wilkerson is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. I don't know why you're still getting the trouble screen. Come on. There we go. Pitch to Wilkerson. Then that is slapped down to first, and Randolph makes a great play. But everything's kind of going wrong there. So that was a hot shot to Randolph. Oh, off the mound. Randolph got it almost on the grass. Quick throw to Mangley for the out. Yeah, USA and Latvia, 3 o'clock on USA. McDowell 1 for 2, a double and a strikeout. 18 batters for Tewksbury. 4 1/3, a run. It was earned. He's allowed 3 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 3. McDowell rips this one to Meacham, who can't make the play. So the Yankees make another error. Meacham's second of the ball game. For Scott Fletcher, who has singled and walked, he's 1 for 1. Yankees play for the bunt. Pagliarulo and Mattingly in. Oh, yeah, the ski jumping scandal where they injected acid into their genitalia. I mean, what the hell is that about? Pitch to Fletcher, runner goes, fly ball right center, Henderson running over, Ricky makes the catch, and McDowell's got to go back. How you doing, Southside? We can make you jump 5 meters faster or farther. Oh, how do you do that? Let's inject some acid into your junk. That's the type of stuff that you'd expect, Cal Worthington to say. You want to buy a used car? Go right ahead. It runs like new. Pete O'Brien 0 for 1 with a walk. Size matters. O'Brien and McDowell draws the walk. Oh, it's a balk. Tewksbury balked on a 3-0. How the hell you balk on a 3-0? O'Brien with a 14-game hitting streak. So David, Norfolk Southern fan, and I were talking this morning because David likes to watch my older stuff. And he asked, how many balks did we have in 88? Now, I remember 87 being the balk year, but apparently we had a lot of balks in 88. So I looked because I have all the stats from all the replays that we've done. I had 919 balks in 88. That's a lot. 3-0 to O'Brien. OB into left center. Henderson running back, and that is long gone. Goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie, we're tied up at 3. 444 feet. O'Brien launched that one. My word. And he went the opposite way. So a 3-3 tie now. Oh, yeah, O'Brien is now hitting 15 straight. Use Tesla battery just like new. That would make the run not... Dr. Dave says, Dr. Brian Sutter is a sports medicine doctor on YouTube. He did a full analysis of the scandal and actually made sense. The poor guy could barely keep a straight face. So what does it do, Dave? That would have hit, the Anderson sign, although this field is lower than the original. That was hammered. Porter, ground ball to Mattingly over to Tewksbury for the out. And that'll do. Halfway home on a rainy day in New York. Rangers 3, Yankees 3. So Curtis's response to what does it do, and Curtis says, hurts. 3 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Texas. 3 runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors for the Yankees. Ron Hasse, a sac fly in the second if he joined us late to make it 1-0 New York. In the third, the Yankees sent 8 to the plate and had 2 bases-loaded walks. Ken Griffey scored Ricky Henderson, and Ron Hasse scored Willie Randolph. 3-0 New York. In the fourth, George Wright, a triple to score Gary Ward to make it 3-1. And just a moment ago, Pete O'Brien had to get a flight permit for a 2-run shot that went 444 feet over the monuments in the left center. He now has a 15-game hitting streak. Bobby Witt, 4 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs all earned. He has walked 7 and struck out 5. Bob Tewksbury, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, just 1 earned. To Bobby Meacham-Ayers. The home run to O'Brien. He has walked 2 and struck out 3. Easler, 0 for 1 with a walk. The distance a ski jumper can jump is strongly influenced by the suit that they wear. Okay. The suits are heavily regulated by the measurement of the body surface against the area of the skier. Were those, Jeremiah changing the subject, were those the original white facade colonnades in the outfield? No, those were not the original facades. They were redone, which I don't think people knew, just to match the design of the stadium. The original one didn't have them in the outfield. They were the patina, or the frieze, was around the bowl from foul pole to foul pole. Last Olympics, a cross-country skier got frostbite in the same area. No, I don't think that would help, Scotty. Any increase in the body surface, Dave says, means a bigger suit and therefore a better distance. So they're trying to do the opposite then of shrinkage? Are they literally injecting them with Viagra? Is that what you're telling me? Mike Easler's 0 for 1 with a walk. Popped up, left side. Wilkerson, 1 out. For Winfield, 0 for 1 with a walk. Did I see the skier profess his love for his ex-girlfriend and apologize for cheating on her? Yes, I did see that. By the way, Vermonters have won 3 medals in these Olympics. Winfield, left center field. Back goes Ward. Home run. That's his 5th of the year. That was also well hit. That's out there by the monuments, 406 feet. The Yankees go up 4-3. And Jeff Russell will come into pitch. So Bobby Witt's day is done. 4 1/3. And 4 runs. Here's the home run to Winfield. Now I see why you'd inject that in your weenie. Here, let's make you bigger. Jeff Russell is 1-0 with a 3.52 ERA, making his 11th appearance. He's 24, fastball at 89, and a ground ball pitch. And a reminder that Yankee baseball is brought to you by the California Sperm Bank. Because why not? He pitched last night in a 5-2 loss to the Yankees. Did Russell, an inning and a third, 40 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. So overall for Russell, 15 and a third, 12 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 12 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Griffey has walked, singled, and driven in a run. Russell could give you 45 pitches. 3 runs, 4 hits, and error for Texas. They've left on 4, and with 1 out here in the 5th, the Yankees 4 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors, and they've left on 6. How you doing, AP? Good to the last drop. All right, field. Back goes right. Goodbye. So back-to-back home runs, and the Yankees go up 5-3. Griffey hits his 4th, and the Yankees take a 2-run lead. Oh, my word. Curtis got to meet Jeff Russell. That one almost hit the back wall there, which was original to the original Yankee Stadium. At the new place when he was signing autographs, he was part of the Rangers' all-time 50-year team. That's cool. Yes, Steve, he was. He was drafted by the Padres. Ron Hassey has walked and driven in 2. One of those walks was with the bases loaded. He was drafted by, I think, the Vikings. and an NBA team and an ABA team. So, yes, imagine being good enough to be considered to play 3 different professional sports. Underrated athlete. Pitch to Hasse, and he draws the walk. So Russell has not been the solution here. Pagliarulo 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. And he draws the walk. So the Rangers pitchers have walked 9 with 1 out here in the 5th. Bobby Meacham is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He rips this one into center field. McDowell will throw it in there, and the bases are loaded, 1 out. It's only the 5th Yankee hit for Ricky Henderson, who's 1 for 3. Vikings, Padres, an NBA team, right, and an ABA team. I think he made the right decision. He played his college ball at the University of Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. Russell deals. Right center, right. Going back, makes the catch. Hasse should tag. Will tag, and the throw is into the infield in a 6-3 New York. So 2 out. Yankees up 6-3. Here's Randolph. He's 0 for 1 and walked twice. Atlanta Hawks in the NBA and the Utah Stars in the ABA. And yep, Minnesota. Curious thing, though, if he stays in San Diego, then he plays with Tony Gwynn. Would that have been enough to win them the 84 series? Pitch to Randolph. Ground ball to third. Petralli flips it to Fletcher, and that will do. Big inning for the Yankees. 3 runs on the 2 homers, 3 hits, and no errors. We go to the 6th here in New York. Yankees 6, Texas 3. So Ward, Parrish, and Wright to face Tewksbury here in the 6th. He's in the Hall as a Padre. Yet Toronto Blue Jay legend, he won a World Series there. Unfairly maligned in New York. His numbers were always good. It wasn't his fault that the Yankees couldn't get to the next level. Struck him out. That's 4 for Tewksbury in 0-2. Larry Parrish 0 for 2 today as a DH. Struck him out. That's a good morning and a good afternoon from Tewksbury, a 2-2. George Wright 1 for 2, a triple and an RBI. Ground ball to Meacham. Bobby doesn't bobble this one, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for Tewksbury. How about that? After 5.5, 6-3 New York. So Mattingly, Easler, and Winfield to face Russell, who had a bad inning. Mattingly has a 10-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Right center, McDowell, 1 out. Yankees only have 5 hits. They've left on 8. Easler 0 for 2 with a walk. So the preliminary schedule, Monday night, 7 Eastern. Wednesday and Thursday at noon. Easler into right center field. That will bounce off the wall. McDowell has to play it. Easler's in standing with his 5th double of the year. Winfield drove in 100 runs. What more do you want? He didn't pitch. Russell, deep breath. Hit him! And Russell gets a Bronx cheer. Winfield got nailed in the leg on a 3-0. He homered his last time up. So I wonder if there was a message there. Griffey homered his last time up. If he gets hit, there could be some fireworks here on a rainy afternoon in New York. Russell and Porter have a word. Jeff pitch. And that got away from Porter. That's a wild pitch, and everybody moves up 90. So Easler on third, Winfield on second, Griffey with a 3-0 count at the plate. And now if you hit him, Griffey may be bringing the bat out there. Popped up, Porter to the screen, made the catch. 2 out for Ron Hasse. was walked twice and driven in 2. He now has 11 RBI in the year. Yep, Steinbrenner would refer to Winfield as Mr. May. Again, completely unfair. Hasse rips this one past Fletcher into right field. Easler scores. Winfield scores. It's 8-3 New York. So Texas, like a prom dress, has come undone. Pagliarulo 0 for 1. He's walked twice and struck out. And he draws the walk. Everybody has a bad day, and this appears to be the Rangers. Bobby Meacham 1 for 3. He's not had a good day. He has a single and a strikeout and 2 errors. So Hasse on second, Pagliarulo on first. 2 out. Meacham hits a ground ball to O'Brien, underhands it to... No, he takes it himself and barely got him. However, 2 more runs for New York on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 7th here at the big old ballpark in the Bronx. The Yankees 8, the Rangers 3. Do I know who's referred to as Mr. November? Number 2, shortstop. Number 2. Derek, Jeter. Shortstop, Jeter. Gino Petralli is 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Little chopper to Randolph, over to Mattingly, and that's an error. This game is being about as crisply played as that lettuce you forgot to throw out in your fridge. Randolph went to underhand it and overthrew Mattingly. So here's Wilkerson. Curtis is 0 for 2 with a K. Throw to first, and Petralli's back. I suppose I should let him steal. You're down 5 runs. If you want to risk it, go be my guest. Runner stays. Wilkerson K's. Wow. On a 1-2. And Tewksbury is fan 6. Not known for his strikeout ability here. Here's McDowell. 27 batters for Tewksbury. 98 pitches. 6 1/3. 3 runs, just 1 earned. The home run to O'Brien. He has walked 2 and struck out 6. And there's a rain delay. So we were gone for 49 minutes. Did you miss us? And so who are we going with? We're going to go with Tommy John. So Tommy, at 43, has all the time in the world to warm up. He is a fastball pitcher, and I say that term rather loosely. He's a softball fastball pitcher at 81, and ground ball pitcher. He has not pitched yet all year. So in real life, 5-3 for the Yankees. A 2.93 ERA. 70 2/3, 73 hits, 8 home runs. He walked 15 and struck out 28. And I imagine now, with a pitch count of 70 and a big lead, that this is his ballgame. O.D.B. McDowell, 1 for 3, a double and a strikeout. John's warm-ups or his in-game pitches. No, Russell will be gone. He's extremely tired. 8-3 New York. See, now, if we did rain outs, this game would be over. But because I love you guys so much, you're stuck with this. McDowell, Randolph throws to first. Petralli moves up to second, 2 out. For Scott Fletcher, 1 for 2. John, excited to be back in New York. Popped up. Left side, Meacham. Stretch time, 8-3 New York. Dwayne Henry coming in to pitch. Or not bring in my bench because I got grief for that in an 18-1 game. Never mind the fact the Red Sox weren't playing their A lineup anyway. Anyway, Dwayne Henry, no record, a 1.29 ERA, making his 8th appearance, 24 years old, fastball at 94, or a fly ball pitcher. Not or, and a fly ball pitcher. Henry last pitched on the 29th against the Indians in an 8-1 win. He went 1 inning, 15 pitches, and a walk. Overall, Henry 7 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, only 1 earned. The Blue Jays took him for 5 unearned runs. Oh, my word. He has walked 12 and struck out 3. Pitchers and catchers report, yeah, because of the World Baseball Classic. With games on Fox this year. So it's the first time the World Baseball Classic will actually be on real TV. Ricky Henderson, by the way, 1 for 3, a single, an RBI, and a strikeout. Henry deals, that's into center field. McDowell going back. Odabe made a catch, 1 out for Randolph. Willie has walked twice. He's 0 for 2. And he draws the walk. So 8-3 the score. In real life, Henry walked 22 and 19 and a third. That's not good. Don Mattingly trying to get their hitting streak to 11 games. He's 0 for 4 today. He swings. That's into left field. That's the opposite way, but Ward will make the grab. No, he doesn't. That is off the wall. Randolph around third. Piniella waves him home. It's 9-3, and Mattingly has an 11-game hitting streak. Captain Carl, how are you, Bobby? Brings up Easler, 1 for 3, a walk and a double. This has not been pretty for the Rangers. And Easler draws the walk. Goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie. So first and second, 9 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors for the Yankees. This has been about as clean as Pigpen, and they've left on 10 for the Rangers. 3 runs, 4 hits, an error, and they've left on 5. Winfield, 1 for 2, a walk, a solo homer, hit by a pitch, and a strikeout. The delay will help Russell. He won't give up any more runs. That is true. And Steve is channeling my mother and my dad. Henry! I can hear my mother saying that. Pitch to Winfield. There's a ground ball to third. Petralli, Fletcher for 1, and Winfield's going to reach on the fielder's choice. But Petralli was able to make the play. Henry! Ken Griffey is 2 for 3 today. He has singled twice, walked, homered. Or singled once, homered, and drove in 2. And if my mom was really upset, Steve, Henry Arthur! There. Because husbands have middle names, too. Mattingly on third. Winfield on second. Henry deals. There's a ground ball to Fletcher. Goes to Wilkerson for the force there. Interesting choice. Yankees get a run on a hit. We've played 7. They lead it 9-3. So Tommy John just getting some Fort Lauderdale work in here on this rainy May 3rd, Saturday, Kentucky Derby Day in New York. O'Brien, Porter, and Ward to face him. Pete, 1 for 2. He homered. He sent one in the bleachers in left center. Oh, you're not going to do the 86 with Pursue the Pennant? I'm going to do it with Stratomatic. Glenn Hoffman wasn't carded, okay? Would you like me to post? Absolutely, you should read the Strat form on Delphi. And on the Strat fan form. Mike, and I don't know his last name, I believe his name is Mike, did 86 on the computer, and I believe he played all the Red Sox games. And he got the Red Sox to beat the Mets in the World Series. Pitch to O'Brien. There's a ground ball to TJ, and Tommy can't make the play. 4 errors for New York. That's quite the line score. 9 runs, 8 hits, and 4 errors. O'Brien on first. Here's Porter. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And Don Slott will pinch hit. Slott does not have a pinch hit appearance. He's hitting .270 overall, 2 homers and 9 RBI. That is ripped into center field for a base hit. So first and second, nobody out for Gary Ward, who was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. That is a hard ground ball to Meacham. Only players to Mattingly, and they get the speedy Ward. So Slott on second, O'Brien on third, 1 out for Parrish, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Fly ball, left field. That should score O'Brien. Griffey is there. O'Brien should tag. No, he's going to hold. 2 out for George Wright, 1 for 3 with a triple and an RBI. Dave Righetti is a pitching coach for Team Italy. Righetti, good starter for New York. I don't know why they converted him to the pen. Was it a control issue? And, of course, a great closer for San Francisco for a few years. Pitch to right. Base hit, right center field. O'Brien scores. Slot around third. Ricky uncorks one. Nope, he scores. So it's a Dolly Parton 9-5 with 2 out here in the 8th. So right on with a 2-run single. Petralli 0 for 3 with a K. And Toby Harrow will pinch hit. So Petralli's day is done. Harrow at 190 has not pinch hit, 2 homers and 5 RBI. Dolly's more surface area. People jump for Dolly. 2 out. Struck him out. Hara strikes out, and that'll do. Rangers, however, make this a ball game. 2 runs, 2 hits, and another Yankee error. We go to the bottom of the 8th here in the Bronx. 9-5 New York. So Hasse, Pagliarulo, and Meacham to face probably the next pitcher in the bullpen. And that Southside has understood the point of the channel, and that would indeed be a big mountain to climb. Little hasn't asked me to sing yet tonight either. Hasse has driven in 4. He has singled and walked twice. Popped up. Slot behind the plate is a 6 and a 2, and he makes the catch. And Wimpy, Tom Paciorek is a 4 and 3rd. So Paciorek in the 8 hole, and Slot will clean up. Pagliarulo has walked 3 times. 0 for 1 with a K. Henry deals, and Pagliarulo walks again. 4 walks for Pags. Brings up Bobby Meacham, who's 1 for 4. Slot and Henry have a word. Struck him out, and Mickey Mailer will pitch to Ricky Henderson. Mailer making his 5th appearance, 1-0. He started twice. He's going to start 5 before all is said and done with a 1.98 ERA. Mickey, 33 years old, fastball at 86, and a ground ball pitcher. Steve saw Dolly on Broadway and Andy Get Your Gun. Can you bake a pie? Neither can I. No, but I know how to order them. Mailer last pitched against Milwaukee in the 27th, 2 1/3 in an 8-6 loss. 24 pitches, allowed a hit. Overall for Mailer, 13 2/3, 14 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 7. I thought that was Rick Mailer's brother. Didn't they both pitch for Atlanta? Ricky 1 for 4. He has driven in a run and struck out. I love pie. What's your favorite kind of pie there, Southside? There is a ground ball to O'Brien. Goes to Mailer for the out, and Ricky is retired. We go to the ninth. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Rangers 4 to tie, 5 to go ahead. Wilkerson and then McDowell and Fletcher to face Tommy John. Cherry and Apple. I would agree with Apple is my favorite. Wilkerson 0 for 3. Ground ball to Mattingly, 1 out. McDowell 1 for 4. He has doubled and struck out. This would not be a save. Oh, of course, on the mode. Now, I live in Vermont, and so people like my mother love their apple pie with sharp cheddar cheese. But I'm with you. I'm vanilla ice cream all the way. Pitch to McDowell. There's a fly ball to right. Back goes Winfield. That is well hit. Winfield to the track and makes a leaping catch against the wall. Ooh, a sugar cream pie. Ooh, that sounds good. So 2 out. Last chance saloon for Scott Fletcher, who was 1 for 3. Never heard of it. Now, I consider Boston cream pie a donut. But yes, I like those. Fletcher, high ground ball to Mattingly, and the Yankees are going to win this one by the score of 9-5. So 3 hours and 48 fake minutes with a 49-minute rain delay in the process. Yankees go to 14-9, 9 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors. They're left on 13. The Rangers fall to 10-11, 5 runs, 6 hits, an error, and they left on 6. Bob Tewksbury is a 5-game winner. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, just 1 earned. The massive home run to O'Brien. He walked 2 and struck out 6. Tommy John says Happy New Year, 2 2/3, 2 hits, and 2 unearned runs. And a strikeout. Bobby Witt was not Floyd Yeomans by any stretch. 4 1/3, 3 hits, 4 runs. Stupid Rangers. 4 runs all earned. He allowed the home run. 7 walks and 5 strikeouts. Jeff Russell, an inning and 2/3 before the rains hit. 4 hits, 4 runs all earned. A homer. He walked 3. And then Henry, an inning and 2/3, a run, a hit, a walk, 3 walks. And then Mickey Mailer got the last out of the ballgame. So we will play the rest of this Saturday for you. The Rangers fall to 3 back. And the Yankees are within a half game of Toronto, depending on what happens here. And they are tied for first as Seattle beats Toronto 3-1. Mike Morgan 2-1. Jim Acker falls to 0-2. George Bell 2 for 4. Hits his 4th. Oakland doubles up Boston 10-5. Cordioli 2-0. Mike Brown falls to 0-4. Rangers walked 13. And the Yankees made 4 errors. Miska Muska Mouseketeer. Carney Lansford 3 for 4. 2 RBI for the A's and a double. The Reds double up the Mets 8-4. John Denny 2-2. Bobby Ojeda 2-1. Lenny Dykstra hits his 3rd, goes 2 for 4, and hits a triple. The Astros 6-2 over the Expos. Nolan Ryan goes to 4-0. Joel Hesketh goes to 0-2. Phil Garner 2 for 4, drives in 3 with a triple. Phillies beat up on the Braves. Big brother Rick takes the loss. He's 1-3. Shane Raleigh. In all the years we've done the 80s, this might be the first time Raleigh's actually won a game that was quick played on the stream. Mike Schmidt hits his 6th. And on the year, 1 for 3 with a walk. California 9-4 over Milwaukee. Ron Romanek goes to 3-2. Bill Wegman opens up a grocery store, takes a loss 2-2. Bob Boone 3 for 5 with a triple. Chicago beats the Giants 9-4. In 11 innings, Keogh 1-1. Jim was got. He's 0-2. Gary Matthews hits his 5th, 1 for 4, and drives in 3. Tigers pound out 22 hits. Darrell Evans, a grand slam, 5 RBI, 3 hits. They beat the Twins, sorry, Triple G, 20-1. Walt Terrell goes to 4-0. Butcher falls to 1-4. Cleveland beats the White Sox 8-2. Phil Niekro goes to 2-3. Davis falls to 1-3. Mill Hall, it's a second, 3 for 4, and drives in 2. Kansas City behind Mark Gubicza, 7 in the third, 2 hits, 5 Ks, and an earned run. He goes to 1-3. They beat the Orioles 7-1. Dixon falls to 0-4. Law 1 for 3, drives in 4 with a home run. Dodgers steal 5. Fernando goes 9 innings, and they beat the Cardinals 5-4. Ed Vandenberg gets the win. Worrell takes a loss. Heath hits a home run, 2 for 5 and 2 RBI. Pittsburgh, last but not least, beats San Diego 6-5. Patterson gets the win. Chris Gossage takes the loss, and Clements picks up the save. Monday night, it'll be Toronto and California, Jim Clancy and Don Sutton. Penciled in for Wednesday afternoon will be Boston and Oakland, Clemens versus Langford. And Thursday afternoon, Hershiser and Jay Tibbs, Los Angeles and Montreal. That's what's on the cards next week. Thank you so much. And so we'll tell you to have yourself a great weekend. We will see you soon. Monday night for the Blue Jays and the Angels. Have a good one, everybody. So long.